Hello world, Amanda here again. So last video we talked through 3 reasons diets don't work, and I also invited you to view your body as a dietary experimentation lab. Today I want to stay on the topic of health, but I want to focus on the relationship that you have with your body and food, and really how that relationship impacts your overall health. Eating, or what you eat, is only part of the equation. There's more to the story of good nutrition than that. There's what you eat, as I just mentioned, so the food choices you make. There's how you eat, and that could really be the speed of your consumption. It could also be the emotional state you are eating in. So as an example, are you eating from a place of hunger, or are you eating because you feel anxious and you're trying to suppress that feeling and food makes you happy? There's when you eat, and that's related to the timing and planning of your meals. Do you plan? If you don't, you should. Because us as people, we love variety, but our body really loves stability and routine. And then there's who you are when you're eating. And that's really related to the relationship you have with your food and your body. So the ideal state of your body to assimilate the nutrients you're serving it is relaxation. When you're not relaxed, your body really struggles to digest and absorb all the nutrients which you're serving it. So I bet you're curious on what that means and how that works. Well, when you're stressed, your body removes the blood from your stomach and moves it to your arms and to your legs because it's preparing for fight or flight. And the mind and body doesn't know the difference between a life or death stress, so something that can actually kill you, versus you're stressed about work, or you're stressed because you got into a fight with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. So if you've ever eaten in a state of stress, and if you've ever really felt like a lump of food in your stomach after eating, that's exactly what it is. Once you relax, the body has the ability to move the blood away from your arms and your legs back into your stomach, and start working on that digestion. So this is a lot deeper than what I'm sharing, but I think it's enough information to kind of set the tone of optimal health is more than just food and exercise. That said, I'd like to talk about relationships, but in particular, relationships with your bodies, and then also food. In my last post, I shared that I was recently reflecting on the relationship I used to have with my body. I'm kind of assessing where it is today, and I'm currently working on identifying a new state. What kind of partnership do I want to have with my body and food moving forward? So, but what does it really mean to have a relationship with your body or food? Well, as a starter, it means to relate. And relating to something really means telling a story about it to yourself or to others and getting into establishing a connection with it. And the kind of connection you establish with the object you're relating to really depends on the story you're telling about it. So when it comes to food, body, health, relationships, have you ever thought about what kind of story you're telling? Stories are powerful. They really have the ability to uplift you and make you feel powerful, or defeat you and make you feel powerless. So the way we talk to ourselves has a dramatic impact on how we feel and relate to ourselves and relate to our body. So the story you tell yourself about your body actually has the power to be more impactful than anything else, including what you eat, what you drink, your lifestyle habits. Take a moment to let that sink in. Do you agree? Well, I want to say, I didn't come up with that concept. There's a lot of health professionals out there that believe this, but if you're contemplating whether you believe it or not, hear me out. Let's go through some story examples that one might have about their body that are negative. So, my body is too gross to be touched. Skinny people are happy. I'm fat. No guy will date a girl with a flat butt. I'm not pretty enough for men to like. Maybe for men, I'm too scrawny. I'm too weak. I wish I was stronger. I wish I had more muscles. How did that feel? Would you ever tell your sister those comments? Would you ever tell your mom, like, you're too fat, you're not pretty enough? For some reason, we tell it to ourselves. Ugh. And a lot of those examples were personal examples. As I mentioned, I've been reflecting, but I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. Let's talk about stories with food. Food is my enemy. If I'm perfect with my diet, I'll lose weight, and then I'll be happy. If something tastes good, it's probably bad. Fat is bad. Ugh, that one really sticks with me. That one got to me. All those food commercials when I like growing up as a kid were like non-fat this, non-fat that. Like, I really bought into that, and I lived in the Bay for almost 10 years, and granted, it's a cold city, but I was still cold 24/7. And what I later found out is I did not have enough fat in my diet. So eat fat, people. It's good for you. It keeps you warm, helps your organs. There's a lot of different things that it does. Eat fat, okay? There was a study with Anne Kearney Cook. She's like a PhD psychologist. She had 300 women in her study. And in this study, they found a whopping 97% of women had a I hate my body moment at least once a day. At least once a day. It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart so much because it's true for myself. But don't worry, people. I got my own coach. Coaches need coaches. We are humans. And luckily, I have access to a slew of coaches. But, change takes time. And the rewiring and the transformation is hard. And I'll get into how to do that at the end of this. But I'm human too, okay? But, thinking through those examples that I just said, do you think those thoughts are putting the body in a relaxed state or a stress state? Now, I previously mentioned that stress impacts your digestion and nutrition absorption. But another nugget of information I want to give you is the impact of stress with your metabolism. When your stress chemistry is up, your metabolism goes down, which means it's storing fat. Funny how that works. All those negative thoughts we thought were serving us and were going to motivate us to do what we're supposed to do, and have this ability, once we do it, to live this happy, skinny life, they're actually contributing to stored fat and weight gain. Deep. Now I really want you to take a moment and think about your own thoughts and think about the story that you tell about your body and maybe even food. And maybe take a moment once you're done with this video to do this. I recommend sitting, getting a pen and paper, and actually unpacking and releasing those thoughts. Once you're done with that exercise, ask yourself, am I at war with my body? Oof. Am I triggering stress responders and putting my body on defense? If you said yes, then you are quite literally at war with yourself. And if you really think about it, you can't heal through war. You can only heal through love. Do you agree? Here's another concept I want you to think about. If you change your biography, which is the story you tell yourself, you really have the power to change your biology, which is the chemistry of your body. It all starts in here, folks. It starts in the mind. The beautiful news here is that you have all the power. You have the power to change, to make these changes, to change these stories in a way which serve your health. The last note I want to leave you with is on how to create long-lasting change, right? Sustainable habits. How do we do that? Well, there's 3 ways, and I recommend you write this down. 1, change your behaviors. And I think most of you are already doing that, where you're trying to make small changes to support a better, healthier, more optimal life. It starts with those, but then you go into your beliefs. You have to change your belief system, because the beliefs that you have, they create your thoughts, and your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings create the actions of what you wanted, what you do, and what you don't do, because you're always trying to feel something or you're trying to avoid a feeling, and then in turn that creates your experience. And then identity is the last one, and we just skimmed the surface of identity with this topic. Who you are becomes equal to what your body is doing. The best change starts small with those behaviors, but the juicy transformation really happens when you change your belief system and your identity. All right, that's all I got for you folks today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this post. If you had any appreciations or aha moments, please feel free to drop a comment, leave a DM, any feedback. I'll take that as well. Till next time.